Hello there. Hello. Hello, my friends. How are you all doing today? I went ahead and jumped on just a moment, but here's the thing. Today, I want to talk about spring, how it may seem like a challenging time to add new students to your business. But if we're being really honest, most of us wouldn't mind adding an extra $7,500 or more in revenue this time of year, right? We all have so many expenses this time of year that a cash cash injection would make things so much easier for you. So, in this week's episode, I decided I wanted to pull back the curtain and share with you exactly how and how easily I added $7,500 extra in revenue over the last 2 weeks. And so, welcome to the Erin Burd Live Show. If you don't know me, I am Erin Burd. I absolutely adore supporting dance studio owners and educators to really grow their businesses, all by creating their own vision of success without the burnout, the overwhelm, or sacrificing their personal lives. So I hope that if you're joining me, you will say, "Hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I want to know who's with me." Hey, Farah, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to say hello to everybody. And my friends, if you know somebody who needs to hear this conversation right now, feel free to share with them, tag them here, sprinkle the love around. Hey there, good morning or afternoon. So don't be afraid to share the love, because the truth of the matter is we're actually better together. And when we band together and we believe in collaboration over competition, the world is a better place. Our industry is a better place, and we can really help each other out. So don't fear, sprinkle the love around. And lastly, we love to learn out loud here. So if you have that aha moment, if you have that, like, oh, that really resonated with me, you have a takeaway, go ahead and throw us a hashtag takeaway and tell us in the comments. We want this to be a conversation, right? And this is not about me just being on here. I'm going to share those behind the scenes moments with y'all, but I want us to chat and have a conversation. So are we ready to get this party started? Again, as you're coming in, say, "Hey, Erin, what's up?" Let me know that you're here. I always want to know who is with me when we are doing this. So let's dive in. How I added 60 new preschool students in just 2 weeks. And let me know in the comments, how many of you stop all enrollment this time of year, right? Let me know in the comments. I want to know. Because here's the thing. If you do, you're not alone. It's a very common practice in our industry. Once we get closer to recital season, a lot of people start like January, February, actually cutting off their registration and not having. Hello there. Hello. Good morning to you. I'm going to start singing. Y'all, can I tell you? Well, first of all, I know I'm going off a little bit here. I know I'm going on a little bit on a tangent, but that's okay. It actually does have to apply. It does apply. That as a dance educator, a preschool teacher, I turn everything into a song, even though I am not the world's best singer. And my kids, they will agree with you. I have to tell you, it goes down. So when I remember this very vividly as I was younger and a teenager, and my parents would try to get me out of bed for school. My stepfather, he would come into the room and he would start singing this song, and he would say, it was like, "Good morning to you, good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. Good morning to you." Now, I will let you know that my stepfather, he is a musician, musically inclined. So it sounded a lot better than that. And I remember hating it. I remember just like not being a fan. But now as an adult and as a parent, I kind of laugh, and I do it to my kids sometimes because it just makes me happy in the morning. I don't know. Anybody relate? I know that was totally off topic. Yes, rhyming all the time. I make up songs, or I might, especially in class, if like I do, if I'm doing something with a song and then we're going to a transition, I will take that rhyme or that rhythm or the tune and I will change the words to make it a good transition for us, or telling them what I want them to do, right? Um, Again, totally random. Can I give you guys a tip about Actually, I'm going to give it to you later. Can I give you guys a super tip for preschool classes to get them where they need to be a little bit later? Let me know in the comments if you want that. And if you would like a copy of the show notes from today, just drop a show notes below and we will make sure to get that for you as well. All right, so let's really dive into the goods of why you're here today. How I added 60 new preschool students in just 2 weeks. So I'm really glad to see that some of you here are saying, no way, I take students until the end of the year. Even if we just throw them in the opening, they love it. Yes. Okay. So that makes, can we just, yeah! I'm going to give you some hand clapping today. Yes. Because there is no reason why we have to stop our enrollment. Everything is figure outable, right? Everything is figure outable. And we get to decide what happens, right? We Everything is figure outable, and sometimes we might tell ourselves things are impossible, but the truth is nothing's impossible. Everything is figure outable. Um, can I share this? I'm going to share this on the screen. I told my son to reach up high and touch the sky this morning when he couldn't reach his lunchbox on the top of the fridge today. My people, right? Oh my goodness gracious, love it. So yes, my friends, we can continue. We get to decide and we get to figure out what is possible. We get to decide, right? And there's always, always, always a solution to any obstacle that's put in front of you, any, you know, problem that comes around. We have to be problem solvers. So everything is figure outable. So it makes my heart happy to know that so many of you do continue enrollment. That makes my heart happy because let me tell you, for a while in our industry, it was kind of like a standard. Nope, we stopped taking enrollment and this year I was here, oh my gosh, because of costumes, we can't. Okay, you guys, like we can figure it out. We're smart. We're smart people. So, but here's the deal. Right now, how many of you have a lot of expenses? More so than maybe other times during the year, right? So I know we have expenses when it comes to recital. We have expenses, competitions and things. And yes, you know me and how I feel about finances and that we should plan accordingly to have budgeted and not be in a place. But yes, there's so many more expenses this time of year. And so it's really nice to throw in a cash injection, right? And so I was thinking about us in our summer and I was like, well, this year, both of my girls want to go to sleepaway camp. So instead of I'm paying for one, I'm paying for two now, right? So I was like, okay, I've got that. We've got some family vacations and getaways that we wanted to do over the summer because y'all know me. Who else here? Who here like has passport, will travel? Like give me a plane ticket and I'll go anywhere. And y'all, if you ever need a travel buddy, you let me know. I will go with you. Who else here is like that is their like highest desire, living their best life? Hey David, I'm so glad you're joining us. Hi. Yes, absolutely. You guys, like I know for me living my best life is like just traveling as much as I possibly can. When I was a kid, I know I'm going into a lot of story time this morning and I apologize, but hopefully y'all, you don't mind. When I was a kid, and you get that question from people like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? How many of you remember that? And I remember very vividly at a young age, probably like 7, 8, maybe. I had my answer. And my answer was I want to be a dancer and a nomad. That was my answer. I wanted to be a nomad, y'all, a dancer and a nomad. So I've always had the wanderlust. Anybody else? I don't know. I want to know if anybody else has ever felt that way, but I remember that. And I remember people laughing at me when I was a kid. They would chuckle. And I mean, I guess rightfully so. I don't know. But why is that crazy? Right? Look at us now. A lot of us get to live that way. There's digital nomads everywhere, right? And for me, with my business, I think I'm getting there, right? Where I can be working from lots of different places. So, all right. So I hope you guys don't mind that story and me talking about wanting to be a nomad when I grow up. But let's go ahead, drum roll, right? And actually pull back the curtain. So for us, I thought about, okay, how are we going to get this cash injection so I can pay for 2 sleepaway camps and all the things, all the vacations that we want to do, because the truth of the matter is my soul is yearning for it. And so we need it, right? But we've got to be able to pay for it. So I decided, you know what? It's time. It is time, y'all, to get myself back inside and go to a few of these centers. So now, what I have to tell you guys is that's nothing new. And if you've been around me for a while, you know that I love a good mobile program, right? That is makes my heart sing. I know I get to help other studio owners and dance educators. My goodness, I've even helped a karate dojo. I've helped music teachers actually start this type of program as well, where you go in and offer your classes in preschools, daycares, private schools, after school programs. I have one client who takes these classes into assisted living facilities and senior retirement communities. So, y'all, you know, I love myself a mobile. Now, I have to tell you, here in California, it hasn't been allowed, right? Because of the pandemic, but things are starting to shift, and we're getting some word that we can be allowed in under a certain section of the mandate. And so that makes my heart happy. So, you guys, what I know is 2 things. Number one, parents, they're dying to sign their kids up for anything and everything, right? And so I got the question the other day, Erin, but they're already paying for daycare and that's so expensive. Why would they want to pay for a class on top of that? And the truth is that parents, I mean, let me know in the comments, are you seeing where parents are like opening up their checkbook, their wallets, they're slapping you in the face with their credit cards to do anything and everything that you offer right now? I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those parents, right? I just talked about it. Like, we're doing sleepaway camp, we're doing day camps, we're doing vacations, our summer is jam-packed, right? Because we are yearning for that as a family. And I know many families are feeling that way as well. So, you guys, if you have ever thought about going into preschools, going into daycares, taking your classes on the road, now is the time. Yes, finally, right? Finally, now is the time. Because what I want to share with you is something that you may not expect. Those 60 students that we registered in the last 2 weeks have been from 2 centers. 2 centers. How difficult would it be to add just 2 centers into your schedule or into into your staff schedule? To add 60 new students for a spring session, right? Let me know. And if you've been thinking about it, now is the time, for several reasons. Number one, parents are dying already. You guys, the directors and the center owners, they're ready to get back to normal too. Now, some are going to be a little more hesitant than others. I'm not going to lie, right? I'd be lying if I told you everyone's ready. That's not the truth. It's not. But the truth of the matter is there are enough that are ready for you to do really amazing things if you decide that that's what you want to do. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, how can I add something to my plate right now with recital, with shows, with comp season, with like nationals? Like, how can I add something? And here's what I know. And it's something that we think about for our parents as well, but we need to apply it to ourselves. And that is, if you value it, you will make time for it. Not find time for it. You will make time for it. And so I get this a lot. I talk I talk to people, I talk to studio owners, I talk to educators, and they tell me, Erin, my schedule's so busy. I know I really want to do this, but now's not the right time. And I hear them say this year over year over year. And then they come back to me maybe 3 years later, 4 years later, and they're like, remember when I first talked to you at such and such conference, or remember when and I say, yeah, I remember we had that conversation, and and you were worried about timing being right. I said, yeah. Then they're regretting that they left all this money out, like they left all this money on the table. They could have been doing it. They realized that it didn't have to be as big of a deal as they were making it. And they were stopping themselves based upon fear. And it wasn't fear of, not doing well or knowing what to teach inside those daycares or those preschool classes. It was fear of rejection, of people, of them attaching somebody's answer to their worth, right? It was fear of rejection of like, if I go and I offer this and they say no, what does that mean about me? It doesn't mean anything about you. It's not personal, right? So there's fear of rejection. There's fear of, what if it doesn't work for me, right? But the truth of the matter is, if you decide and you commit, and maybe if you get the support that you need, you are bound to succeed. But the place all comes from decision. And when I pull back the curtain on any success that I've had inside my businesses, because we have more than one, is that the success, the catalyst for success was decision. Was decision that it is so, right? I set my vision, I set my goals, I know what I want, I have big dreams, and I go after them. I make the decision, I just decide, and I go and I take action. And so I was sitting there and we were going through numbers, and I told my husband, well, I'd really like to send both girls, and I'd like to do these two things. And then we've got another big trip coming up towards the end of the year. And he said, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, well, the decision's made. I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to some daycares. I'm going to talk to some directors. I'm going to see who's ready to go and where I can fit them in my schedule, right? And the decision was made. And guess what? I made the time in my schedule. I didn't find the time. I made the time in my schedule to make it work. Because those things are important to me. And so this might be a little bit different than what you're expecting, but the truth of the matter is that it was so easy. It was so easy to go out and to, talk to these directors and to offer, hey, we would love to come do an 8-week spring session. And they said, yes, we would love that. And then it was parents just registering, right? Because they're so ready. Because they're so ready. And it doesn't have to be hard. And even if you're thinking, Erin, I'm not ready to go out and do a mobile program. I don't know how that'll work for me just yet. Here's what I want to encourage you is I have clients who we implemented this spring session strategy inside their studios, and we've done different offerings, right? There was, I had one client who decided she really wanted to focus on her tiny tot, her baby ballerina program. And so she offered this small mini session. And my goodness, y'all, again, same thing. It sold out. And we packaged it and she did a whole bundle and she did shoes and the whole bit, y'all. And she sold it so quickly and so easily. Right? I have another client who we implemented this strategy in, and she actually did 2 what we call taster classes, right? So they could come for this spring session. Each week was a different genre that she was going to expose these children to. And that way, summer and fall, they are going to be probably ready to pick more than one class. Because how many times, let me know in the comments, how many times have you had students who come in to take a class, new students who come in and they have in their mind, set in their mind, like they want something very specific. Like, I want to come in and I want to try hip hop. I don't, hip hop is where it's at for me, right? And they come and they start with hip hop and you're like, what about ballet? I think that you'd be great. And I did it. And they're like, oh, no ballet, right? Because they have this preconceived notion of what ballet is or tap is or jazz is or modern or lyrical, or right, they kind of sometimes will come in with these preconceived notions, and or parents might too, of what they envision for their child. And if you do these taster classes, you actually give them some exposure and they can see, hey, maybe ballet is actually really fun. It's not what I thought it was, or maybe it was. Right? Or, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that tap could be so fun, right? But these taster classes that we're doing in spring allow for people to try out new things. So let me know in the comments, does anybody do these spring sessions or taster classes? Or are they specific and themed? Almost maybe like you might do for like a summer camp or something of the nature. I have one other client who decided to throw in a spring Encanto session and call it Encanto, right? Didn't call it that, but that's what it was based upon, because it was a quick injection of revenue that she wanted and she needed. So we made the decision. She decided that, okay, and this is how we're going to get there. How many of you are doing that right now? Or how many of you are waiting for things to slow down or a better time, or, how many of you are waiting? Because we just can't fathom adding another thing on. But what I know about our industry is we are some of the most resilient, productive people, right? I have a list of 4 locations I'm visiting tomorrow morning. Yes! That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. Oh my gosh. That makes my heart so happy. So now is the time, you guys. If you've had something on your heart, if you've been thinking about it, now is the time. And if you're feeling a little apprehensive or feeling like you don't necessarily know, how this program is going to work, how do you market it? How do you approach it? How do you get your foot in the door? What sort of things do you need to say? How do you price it, right? There are a lot of questions that may come up for you. And I've had clients who come to me and say, I'm not a business person. And so the dance part I'm fine with. It's just, the business side just scares me and I'm not sure what to do. And I really could use some support. And so I do want to let you know that the doors are open right now to apply for our mobile studio mastermind. And I have been so blessed, and some of you are on here, but to have been able to support studio owners and educators just like you who want to launch this program and do it the right way from the get-go. They want the quickest path to cash. They want the A to Z. They don't want to go bouncing back and forth. They want to get from A to B in the quickest manner possible. And so inside the mastermind, that is where you get the clarity that you need and the confidence. You get me in your back pocket to help you and walk you through all of the obstacles and the objections that come up, because there will be some, right? And it's the place where we actually give you all the tools that you need. We give you the templates and the scripts and what we use in our marketing packet and how do we approach and what do we say and do and what's the right way and how do we leverage this program to be as profitable as possible. Because the truth of the matter is that so many of us unfortunately go in and undervalue what we do because of a starving artist mentality that we have in our industry. It breaks my heart. It gets me fired up. I get a little pissed off about it because you guys are absolutely worth it. And what we do when we, as a whole, whether it's in your studio space or going into daycares or preschools, what you do is immeasurable. Truth be told, it's so valuable and you're making such a huge impact on your community. And so if you have been thinking about it, if you've been on the fence about it, if you haven't taken the leap yet because you don't necessarily feel confident that it's going to work for you, I am here to not only walk with you hand in hand to make sure that it becomes a reality, but what my clients tell me is that I will hold the faith for them until they can hold it for themselves, until they can see it for themselves. And because here's the thing, the systems that we have, they're proven. They've been used over and over again. I've helped over 100 studio owners and educators across the world start their own programs and be super successful. And when I say super successful, you guys, here's the thing. It's all about what your unique vision of success is, right? For you, your vision might be, with this program, I want to add 50 new students. That would be a game changer for me, and it would lead new students into my studio space. Where I have other clients who tell me, Erin, my vision of success is creating a mobile program with 300, 400 students with a team who takes care of it. So I have time freedom to go on 4-week vacations whenever I want to. And it keeps running like clockwork, right? And no matter what your vision of success is, it is perfectly perfect for you. And so we will lay out a custom plan that's just for you to get you to your goals. Because so many times we look at, is this a possibility for me? Will this work for me? I live in this area. It's kind of rural. Will this work? And what I could tell you is we have people all over the world who, no matter if you're teaching in a huge metro area or a small rural area, truth be told, y'all, I've done it all. I've taught in rural North Carolina, I've taught in Orange County, California, and I've taught in between, right? Very opposite in bookends. But you can add 50, 60 new students like that. And so if you are interested in having a chat about the mastermind, how it works, right? I don't want to go into all the details here, but if you want to have a chat about it and see if it's right for you, then go ahead and go to erinburd.com/apply, and you can apply for the mastermind, and we'll just have a conversation. Have a conversation. And whether it is right for you or not, because the truth is I don't take everybody if I don't think it's the right fit. But this is a small, intimate group of studio owners and educators who are your biggest support system. You've got me and my team. And we can turn this program into something absolutely magical for you. And that's how I added 60 new students right now. And as we're rebounding and as we're coming back out of this pandemic, and now that California is saying, yay, right? We are going to be ramping back up and going back in. And summer and fall will be back to our normal scheduled routine, right? But it can easily be done. And what I know is this: life is short. Make the decision. Make the decision to move toward your goals and dreams. And so whether that decision is to do a mobile program or not, I don't know. But if your dreams are bigger than what you've been living in right now, then it's time to jump. It's time to take the leap of faith. Yeah, there's going to be bumps and bruises along the way, y'all. That's life. But if you sit in indecision, you absolutely will not move forward. Right? So let me know for spring right now. I want to know, because I want to be there to hold you guys up and to have some accountability for y'all. So I want to know in the comments. Let me know, how many new students would you like to add before summer? I'll wait in the comments. Let me know in the comments. I want to know how many new students, whether it's mobile, whether it's inside your studio space, how many new students would you like to add before recital, before summer session? I want to know. I'll wait. I'll get a drink of water while you guys do it. $50, yes. Yes, claim it. 50. Love it, love it, love it. Anyone else want to claim? 20, yes. Yes, 20. Okay. Because here's the deal, guys. When you claim it to the world, we can help hold you up, and we can keep you on the path, and we can celebrate with you when you hit that number, right? 65, and that's your stretch because our recital is May 27th. But you can, yes, you can absolutely do it. Yes. You can do it. And I know it might feel like a stretch. You know that. You got this. You got this. So my next question for you is, I love that you're dreaming big. It makes my heart so happy, because I had a coach ask me one time, in this game that you're playing, right? Because, I mean, the game of life, right? In this game that you're playing, are you playing to win, or are you playing just not to lose? And it took me back for a moment. I'm like, ooh, right? And what she meant by it was, when I was setting goals, I was setting goals that I felt like were like safe and achievable, right? But really, for me, I could have set my goals much higher, because that's what I really truly wanted. That's what it was, playing the game to win, not just to not lose, right? And so having those stretch goals are so important, because they help us continue to stay in action. So I'm so proud of you for doing the stretch goal, because it's important and it matters. And so remember that. Are you playing to win, or are you playing just not to lose? Because there is a difference. There is. And so I'm going to be holding y'all up. I'm going to be coming back and being, helping you be accountable. But what I can tell you is this: if you want that extra layer of support, if you want us in your back pocket, if you want me and my team and the greatest community of so supportive studio owners and educators out there to be by your side during this process, the Mastermind is where you need to be. And we need to have a conversation to see if it's right for you. So let's go back real quick and do just a quick little recap. Okay, how I added 60 new preschool students in 2 weeks, and it really boils down to taking action. That is number one. Being intentional, right, is the second part, and number 3 is going out there, having those conversations at preschools and daycares, and starting a couple new classes that filled like hotcakes, because parents are ready to go, y'all. Parents are ready to go. They are slapping their credit cards at your face right now. So let's serve them. Let's help them out. Let's bring convenience to their doorstep, right? Which is preschool or daycare. You can absolutely do that. And or you can add spring sessions that will help add, that are short, cash influxes that also bring those leads and give them something to do until summer. You're not saying, well, we don't have anything for you till summer, or we don't have anything for you till fall. Oh, let's not do that. Let's add these to our plate and to our schedules. You guys got this. It absolutely can be done so easily, but we have to be intentional. We have to have a strategy in place, and we have to put in the work to make it happen. So let me know in the comments, friends. Are you putting in the work? I want you to type in the comments below action, because if you are taking action, my friends, and you are committed, you will hit those goals of 50, 20, 65 new students. I know you can. You just have to commit to it, and you have to take the action. So, my friends, I'm so glad that you joined me today, and my hope is that you are leaving today feeling maybe a little fired up, ready to go, are able to see that nothing is impossible. You just have to decide. And sometimes if you need a little support along the way, there are people there to support you. You just have to be brave enough to ask for the support and make the decision. Yes, I'm so glad. Yes. Committed. Commit and take action, my friends. That's exactly what it's about. Yeah? So, you guys, if you're coming in late, I'm Erin Burd. I'm the hostess with the mostest every week for the Erin Burd Live Show. Oh, go figure. And next week, I will be coming on same time, same station, same bat channel. But I will be having a guest next week, so you don't want to miss out on that. Same time, same place. And again, I'm Erin Burd, and I am a dance studio strategist, author, speaker, and I work with studio owners and educators just like you to grow your businesses and create your own unique vision of success. But let's be real, nobody wants to do it with the overwhelm, the burnout, or sacrificing your personal life, because life's too short for that. So I'm here to walk with you in your journey and cheer you along the way, but also be the one who kind of makes you reflect and see, are these feelings or truths? Right? So I'm going to leave you there. I hope that you all have a fantastic day. I cannot wait to work with you guys and to keep being part of your journey, and showing up here every week, honestly, fills my heart with so much joy to be able to share with you all. So I'm going to leave you there. Have a fantastic week, my friends, and I will see you all next week, if not sooner, but I will talk to you very soon. Bye, friends.